Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Vikrant. Today I'll be discussing about ivermectin for the treatment of COVID-19. Ivermectin was initially studied in Zika virus since it prevented the viral entry into the cell and prevented its replication. After multiple in vitro studies, ivermectin was taken up for clinical trials, but at present only 2 clinical trials were completed which were published in July. I'll be discussing about these 2 clinical trials. First one is took place in Bangladesh in collaboration with China. In this study, all mild to moderate cases having oxygen saturation greater than 95 with normal X-rays were included in this study. The population was divided into 2 groups receiving ivermectin plus doxycycline or hydroxychloroquine plus azithromycin. The final endpoint of the study was 2 consecutive RT-PCR being negative and symptomatic relief of the population. 125 patients were included, out of which finally 60 were analyzed in the IVM subgroup versus 56 in the HCQ subgroup. This is the demographic distribution of the population. We can see significant difference in the distribution between A and B regarding the sex of the patient. 83% males in the HCQ arm, which is significantly higher than 71%. It can play a role as a confounder since males tend to have more severe and prolonged course of illness as compared to the female populace. Regarding the outcome of the study, recovery in days, there was no significant difference between both the arms, IVM showing 8.9 days versus 9.3 days in the HCQ arm. And regarding the side effect profile, IVM performed significantly better with the side effects have been shown in 31% versus 48% in the HCQ group. Looking at the side effect profile, lethargy, nausea and occasional vertigo, which were milder side effects in comparison with lethargy, dizziness, blurring of vision, palpitations versus nausea. While looking at the hospital admission among the symptomatic patients, IVM performed significantly better with p-value 0.071 and the mean hospital admission was 5.9 days in the group A versus, that is IVM group, versus 6.9% in group B. We can also see among the IVM group, majority of the patients recovered on day 5 of the illness. The flaws of the study are the age and sex were not adequately matched between either of the groups, and there is also no information regarding the comorbidities of the patient. In conclusion, among the symptomatic patients, IVM group performed significantly better in regards to symptomatic relief, shortened recovery duration, reduced adverse effect, and superior patient compliance to the therapy. The second paper was the second study was done in Iraq. Even in this study, mild patients were included with exclusion of severe and life-threatening patients having organ failure and ARDS. The intervention in this study was in one group, ivermectin plus azithromycin plus hydroxychloroquine was done. In second group, ivermectin was not included, but azithromycin and hydroxychloroquine was given. The final outcomes was symptoms-free period, that is, in how many days the patient recovered, and 2 consecutive negative PCR test results were negative. And the symptoms period and the PCR should be within 23 days. In the IVM group, 16 patients were included versus 69 patients in the HCQ group. As we can see, there is no significant demographic difference between either IVM group or the HCQ group with adequately matched age, gender, severity and clinical feature score. Though I find it odd that proportion of comorbidities in between IVM and control groups are different, according to statistical analysis, there is no significant difference in the allocation. The outcomes of the study, we can see 100% of the IVM group recovered within the 23 days versus 97% in the HCQ group, and mortality was 0% in the IVM versus 2% in the HCQ group. There is also a significant difference in the duration of hospital admission, with IVM being 7.6 days versus 13.2 days in the HCQ azithromycin group. Finally, the authors concluded this is much better performance, that is, this regimen has showed much better performance in comparison to the remdesivir and favipiravir. The mechanism the authors theoretically, IVM acts as a synergistic action in synergy with HCQ and azithromycin, preventing the viral entry and also acidifying the pH, preventing the viral replication. The flaws with the second study is regarding the small arm having only 16 patients and doubts regarding the matching. After these two trials, multiple countries have taken up the study with Italian and Thailand and Singapore. Around 5,000 people are included in each of these studies. That is, large RCTs are going on regarding the efficacy of different drug agents, which also includes ivermectin. Now, coming to the side effects, ivermectin and azithromycin has a significant interaction with azithromycin raising the concentration of ivermectin by about 30%. It also causes side effects such as itching, dizziness, diarrhea, and nausea. There is also significant interaction between hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin. At this point, most of us know that it causes QT prolongation. So we have to monitor the ECG. It's interesting to note there is no significant drug interaction between ivermectin and doxycycline group. Looking at ivermectin has a half-life elimination of 18 hours and the time to peak in serum is around 4 hours. So my final take on this, since we don't have any effective regimen, we cannot wait for the large randomized control trial to take place at this moment. Though large randomized control trial is like the gold standard, we can go ahead with these following regimens such as ivermectin, doxy, ivermectin, azithromycin. Since we are trying favipiravir and remdesivir, there's no harm in trying ivermectin, which we have been using for a long time for deworming in Africa or Indian subcontinent. My personal preference regimens are the first two, that is ivermectin doxycycline or ivermectin azithromycin. HCQ, I don't have a personal good opinion regarding the use of HCQ, but these two regimens we can try. With ivermectin doxycycline, I would prefer in the elderly population, and ivermectin azithromycin in much younger population. While giving this regimen, ivermectin plus azithromycin, I would start ivermectin azithromycin 24 hours apart. First day I would be giving ivermectin at a dose of 200 microgram per kg as a stat dose, which should be given on an empty stomach. Followed by 24 hours later, I would start azithromycin at a dose of 500 mg per kg. So this is my final take on this. If there are any updates regarding this regimen, I would be sure to update, and we should be waiting for the large clinical trials, so we'll know the final efficacy of this regimen. Thanks for watching.